Happy Friday, everybody. May 26, 2017. All right, so this morning got up really early, got 3 o'clock. The thing is with the 500 push-ups, it's actually been a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. It's just a little more time focused. You really have to focus on your time, and you really have to space out your sets, So I alternate between 25 and 50. So I'll do 50 and then 25 and then 50. And then what I've been doing is counting them, when you use slashes, you do, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, cross them out. So I've been doing those sets of 25. So I do 1, 2 for 50, and then 1 more for 25, and then 50 crosses it out. And then I take a little break in between when I hit 250. I'll drink some water, run in place, kind of stretch a little bit, get the blood flowing, and then I'll bang out the last set. But the ones today, actually, I felt it pretty much when I hit like 400 and maybe 25. So the last 75 were really, really kind of really pushed me, man. It was I felt it. I actually had to slow down. I've been getting so I've seen so much improvement through my push-ups doing this. It was, I feel good, so I see a real benefit to doing this, and so I'm gonna keep going with it. I love the way it makes me feel. The only thing that I fear I may struggle with at times is the weekends, because it just revolves around, we don't have babysitters that day, so it's, our daughter's up. When she's up at 6 until the time she goes to bed at 8, it's tough to find time during that day in which, we don't have to watch her. So I'll have to coordinate, when she's taking a nap, I'll have to try to do my 500 then, because I'm usually the one that puts her to sleep, because for some odd reason, Daddy's is better at that. So I'll end up doing that, and maybe I'll have, my girl watch her for a few times. The thing is, you just got to do sets, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's not all at once. I did do them all at once today in one particular workout, and I really, really crushed that. And I also did resistance bands. I did a lot of resistance bands, high restriction, medium restriction, sets of 50 curls each. And I really feel the burn today. I feel tight, though. It feels good. It's a good feeling. I'm not exactly sure how big my biceps are. The thing is, I'm not really going for bulk. I'm going for tone, because I'm 30. Damn, dude, I'm 36. 36 years old, and I'm, I'm not to the point where, these young guys are in the gym, they're building, they don't have children, they don't have, all they gotta do is worry about banging chicks and going to the gym and partying and drinking on the weekends with their buddies, and it's like that. That's not my lifestyle anymore, man. And it was at one point in my life when I was in my low 20s, but now it's just I have things that I have priorities, and I have things that I have to balance out, and it's a difficult balance, but if you put enough effort into time management and prioritizing and developing lists of what's important, it makes it easier. But it's like I'm saying, man, 500 push-ups, I can do it, man. It's because I have the liberty at my work where I'll do a little bit, work on my presentations, get a couple slides done, a couple note cards done, do some research, and then I'll be able to step to the side and kind of do 50 push-ups here, 25 there, 50 here, and I also get a lunch hour in which I can do it. So I'm very fortunate where I work. How have I been looking into other jobs? I have been looking. The thing is, I never stop looking. I always try to find out, something else that comes up that I might want to be interested in, or I could be interested in. Kind of looking at, the characteristics of that job, what it requires, what they look for, and some of the accreditations that they look for. And so I can kind of see, oh, hey, maybe I might want to pursue that, because my job now, they'll be able to, they want to send me to trainings. They want to get me certified. And so, it's a perfect time for me to take advantage of your job and your company investing in you because they believe in you and bettering yourself and just creating a better resume for, to build you as a person and as an overall marketable product, I guess I could say. But that's why I love my job. There's a lot of freedom, and I get a chance now where I'm learning how to film with a camera. I've been doing photography for a little while, but learning the actually digital cameras, something other than iPhone, has been a learning process for me. It's an expensive hobby, but I really do love it. It's like I say, it's one of those passionate things one of those passions for me that I would love to do that for the rest of my life. Even if I didn't have bills or anything like that, I would love to do it and get paid for it. It would be a dream come true to, go off on a hike and have a company say, hey, we need a couple of shots of a sunrise and a sunset. We're using this, for this new product we're coming out with or this new campaign we want to do. We would love to use some shots. Get us some good shots, and we'll pay you when you get back. And, just to have that as an opportunity, that would be a dream come true for me because I love the outdoors. I love capturing the beauty of this Pacific Northwest. I love this region, man. It's people, I had someone on, I had a conference phone conference yesterday with a strategic learning management system person from Missouri and St. Louis area. And she says, let me ask you, is it really rainy that year round in Seattle? And I said, honestly, we don't really notice it that much because we're surrounded by it. But the thing is, it rains, but I appreciate the fact that it's green year round. I appreciate the fact that we have seasons, We get a little bit of snow in the winter. It gets a little cold in the wintertime. Fall, trees change color, leaves fall. You can still play outside and play football. You can go running. You can still do stuff. And the winter and the early spring and things like that, there's a lot of rain. But the thing is, it snows in the mountains when it needs to, when it rains down here. And I love the winter sports. I love snowshoeing. I love hiking in the snow. I love snowboarding. And it's just, I even ski sometimes, but it's a great thing, as we get all the seasons here. Rain is extremely important for that kind of those particular seasons. And it's like, hey, small price to pay for beauty. And the thing is, it's not always sunny, or it's not like Hawaii where you wake up and everywhere you go it's beautiful. It's just here, not every day is going to be glorious and beautiful, but at the same time, when it does, when the sun does come out and when it's beautiful and when the sun's hitting the mountains or it's coming around and you get these beautiful sunsets where you get a bright sky full of oranges and reds and yellows, and it's gorgeous and you take advantage of it. So it's not one of those things where it's available all year round, the perfect weather. It's when the weather comes, you have to take advantage of it. And so we do, people up here, we do. And so I told her that the rain, it is it is here. Sometimes it seems like it rains more than other times, but honestly, it's just, we're used to it here. And so it's not anything that, depresses people. People allow weather to depress them. It's just, it's a personality thing. That's on them. It's an emotional intelligence thing. You just have to understand that, for beauty needs to have things to happen in order for it to exist. You need rain in order to get snow. You need rain to get flowers. You need rain to get grass and beautiful trees and things that grow and all that. It's not, you can't have one without the other. You have to have an equal amount of things that contribute to the the ecosystem that we have in the Pacific Northwest. I just love it here so much. So anyway, I'm still going to move forward with the 500 push-ups. I just finished day 2. I feel great today, man. It's been a great day. I got some really good photos posted on my Instagram account. And if any of you do go visit my Instagram account, it's the one of the long road in the desert. If anybody can tell me which road that is, I'd be more than happy to give you a shout out or give you full recognition for being able to do that, because it's a famous road, but I'm kind of curious to find out who actually knows what road it is and can tell me, because I'm just curious. So anyway, hey, it's a Friday. It's a beautiful day. We're supposed to have like 3 or 4 days of sun. It's Memorial Day weekend. a lot of people like to go, outdoors and go camping and things like that, or do family trips on these weekends. But with me, I have a dedication to our armed services, our military. So every Veterans Day and every Memorial Day, I go to Tahoma National Cemetery it's in Covington, and I go pay my respects to all the servicemen and women. And I visit my grandparents, and I do it twice a year, and I just love it. It's a beautiful place. They take really good care of it, and they do a great service to our service members. And people say, oh, I support the military, thank you for your service. And I remember doing that once. I was at an airport. I was coming back from, it was DC. I was coming back from DC, and there's this young guy. I remember his name very vividly. I remember our conversation. But I was talking to him, and he was, he's very young. Started talking to him, and I said, you know what? Thank you for your service. I shook his hand, and I said, can I ask you something? When people say that, does it feel like an empty gesture that they're just saying it because they're glad they're not in the military and that you're out there putting your life on the line? And he says, yeah, honestly, yes, it does. It kind of bothers me because it just seems like an empty gesture. It doesn't seem like there's any true feeling or well wishing when they say that. And I say, you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you straight up that's not me. And I spent the next hour and a half talking to him, just sitting there talking about him. He was excited about his kid and his woman were going to get married. He's talking about seeing his family for the first time in months. He's been out in DC, but he was going back home. He lived in Wyoming. Nebraska. He lived in Nebraska, and he was a country boy. And his name is John. And I talked to him for, like I said, an hour and a half, and we just talked. I talked to him about the outdoors and hunting, and I don't hunt, but he does. But I was interested in it. I paid attention to him. I engaged with him, and it was a really good conversation. It was one of those best, those spontaneous things that just happen. You start up a conversation, and you didn't expect to, and great things came out of it. I really felt like I understood somebody better, and I feel that we need to give, there's a lot of people that come home from the military that, we're all, everyone's all like, America, I'm proud of our military men and servicemen, all that. But the thing is, there's a huge portion of the population and homeless population that, of military vets that come home that suffer from PTSD, that do have depression, and they go into war and they engage in life or death situations that we never encounter, and it changes who they are, and they come back home and we expect them to become acclimated to the way things are now over here, and they can't do that. And so they do suffer. They make a huge sacrifice, and I think that we need to make a better, take better care of our service members when they return and when they're done, because being in the military is a huge sacrifice, and anyone who's married into the military or is a military brat growing up understands that the drop of a hat, you have to uproot and move to a place that you've never been to and that you may not want to live, but you have to go there because your mom or your dad was in the military, and that was their order. Their orders were to go to this other location. So it's hard to develop roots. It's hard to teach kids the importance of where you're from and everything to that effect. But I cannot stress the fact that I know some very good people, great people who have been in the military, and when I say thank you for your service, I mean it. And I contemplated the military at one time in my life, but to be completely honest with you, it happened after 9/11. When that happened, school was canceled. I decided to, as I went down to the blood bank, because they're talking about people needing blood and people needing donations, and so I went there to donate blood, and they were actually turning people away because there's just so many people there donating blood. And then on the next day, I went to class, and on the way home, I stopped by the military recruitment office, and I sat in there with the recruiter, and I talked to him for a little bit, and I said, you know what? Before I sign anything, let me go home and sleep on this, because it's a lifelong decision. And right now we're in the midst of going into war, and I want to really evaluate my options, and I want to sleep on this. And so he gave me his card. I went home and I slept on it, and I've been sleeping on it ever since. And it has nothing to do with not wanting to be in the military. I just didn't feel like it was, I thought it was a, I felt obligated to kind of do that, or I felt, because of the situation, that I wanted, like Pat Tillman from the Arizona Cardinals, he left the NFL and went to go fight. And, it was, for him, that was his thing. That's what he wanted to do. And I felt the urge to do it. I felt the sense of importance and need and obligation as a U.S. citizen to do that. But I just didn't feel like it was right for me, because it didn't feel right. I didn't feel like, I may have had a problem with authority too back then, but I decided to stay in college, and the rest is history. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I truly appreciate the military, the sacrifices that they make, the things that they have to see, the things that they have to be ordered to do, the things they have to order others to do. And it's a tough load to handle, and I cannot tell you how much respect I have for them, and it has nothing to do with, people say, well, people in the military, they're not educated, they're just there to whatever. But I'll tell you, the thing is, individuals from the military have a lot more worldly experience than people have in their fingernail, and I have great and tremendous respect for that. And whenever I shake, if you ever see me and I shake your hand and you're from the military and I say thank you for your service, I mean it. And it's not an empty gesture. I respect you, and I respect what you do and the sacrifices that you make. And it doesn't mean that I'm one of these Americans that, it's America's greatest country in the world and this and that. I'm humble. I love where I live, and I love the people that sacrifice their life and their well-being and put their life on the line in order to keep people within the country that I love to live in safe. And so I thank them, and I'm honored to go to events and go to national cemeteries and pay my respects to our military members, especially my family, because I love visiting with them and talking with them and meeting with them. So anyway, you guys have a great Friday. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. And don't forget the reason why we have Monday off. It's Memorial Day. Pay your respects. So, all right, you guys have a great weekend. I'll try to keep up the 500 push-ups. I'm moving. I'm making progress. It's going well. So I'm looking forward to seeing the results, because I honestly feel so much different in the last week, because I've been really pushing myself. So I will keep you guys posted. You guys have a great weekend, and I will talk to you again on Monday. Take care.